Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Let me turn the music off there. Welcome to the stream. This is David Snopek from Snopek Games. How's everybody doing? I see we've got a couple of people bouncing around in our stream chat bot thinger. Hey, Akanakos and Lucas. So this, what you guys are looking at right now, is what we were working on last stream, and what we will continue working on this stream. I don't know what to do with it, because it's like, it's so part of the thing, I'm like afraid to close it. Here, I'll just move it out of the way there. I guess I will have to close it, because we'll be hacking on it. We'll have to make code changes and restart it and all of that stuff. So anyway, I see a couple of eyeballs. As I always say, I don't know who's watching until you say something in chat, which for the time being will also spawn you a little character over here. I think for the first time ever, we are not going to be playtesting Retro Tank Party. There are no new interesting changes, so I don't know that it makes sense to waste time. Oh no, my little guy is stuck down here. Oh, you guys probably couldn't even see that because the bar was at the bottom. My balding orc with a spear. That's who I am in our stream tools here, as I am also in real life a balding orc with a spear. Anyway, instead of playtesting Retro Tank Party at the beginning, I'm just going to talk about the things that I've worked on since last stream. So yeah, I've got a bunch of things to show in here. Changes that I've made. You probably noticed a couple of them. So the clean from the last stream fixed up the sprite sheet that we had from Kenny and L, and then I took that and broke it apart to make our characters fully randomizable. Here, I'm just going to close this. I just keep hoping more people are going to come in and more characters are going to spawn, but I'm just going to close it. Which I can show you. I made this little character randomizer scene where I can hit a key and it'll swap the different pieces. And it's pretty simple. The characters are made up of a bunch of different sprites. Let me get to the right scene here. So we've got a body, upper, lower, hair, hat, shield, and weapon. And I have the script set up to have some, little bit of logic around how they are randomly generated. So the body, we can randomly get any. The upper, lower, and hair, I say we can pick any of them, but also have an equal chance for there just to be no hair or no, upper body clothes or no lower body clothes. Lower body, of course, includes shoes, and upper body can also be like a dress, so it covers, also partially lower body. So I didn't know exactly what to name those. Anyway, and then these randomize off chance ones are where it will randomize which sprite is chosen with a probability for it just not being there at all. Because I didn't want every single character to have a shield, and every single character to have a weapon, and every single character to have a hat. So there's a 75% chance that no one will get a hat, and a 90% chance that not no one will get a hat, that this specific character won't get a hat, and a 90% chance that it won't get a shield, won't get a weapon. So yeah, I don't know. Seems to provide enough. What did I do wrong here? Not the character sprite. I want the character randomizer. It seems to provide enough variety, So I think it'll be cool. I think it'll work. I think it'll do for our chat bot. Also, I made a main scene that has a bunch of different layers. And I can kind of toggle which layers are on and off by pressing some keys. So if we start it up again, there is this timer layer, which I can press T to toggle on and off, which is where, the stream start countdown. This is the only thing that was in this game up until we started working on this 2 weeks ago. And also a music layer, which plays a Creative Commons song, a song under the Creative Commons license, which is listed down here. That's how I'm handling attribution, is putting it right on the screen there. We have this billboard layer, I'm calling it, which shows a message every 20 seconds. which we can basically just configure right in the scene. None of this code is written in a terribly reusable way, so like to add a new message, I have to actually come in and edit the scene. And what else? And the chat layer being the people floating around. So let me. Ooh, now what am I? Am I an old man? Cool. So I can turn that on and off with C, I think. Yeah. Oh, and this background, the lava lamp that we're looking at. So I can turn that on and off by pressing B, and also for having this actually overlay the stream. I forget what the key was. Was it X? X. Yeah, I can put it in green screen mode to make it transparent, which you may or may not actually be seeing. I forget how I left OBS configured. So that you may be seeing green or you may be seeing transparent if I have the chroma key still turned on. So yeah, that's all of the changes I've made to the Stream Tools game. As always, most of the work that I'm doing is available open source. You can go get the source code at GitLab. Not that the code for this particular game is particularly good. I'm using Godot kind of like PowerPoint in a way, like rather than the way I usually code a game where all of the scenes are like reusable components that are spawned in code or whatever. I'm just like kind of making the scenes and laying them out how I want them to appear on the screen, like you would lay out like PowerPoint slides. So anyway, here is the actual code in case anyone is interested. I just dropped it into chat. And I guess, you know, besides the Stream Tools stuff, which we're going to be hacking on today, I did make a bunch of progress on Retro Tank Party. Not enough that I felt like it made sense to work on it on stream again. But if you remember from last time, I was trying to get it building Godot as part of the GitLab CI process, because we are making our network deterministic physics as a Godot module, which means, you know, we make changes to it. It needs to recompile Godot. And I didn't want to have to do that manually. I wanted GitLab CI to do it for me automatically every time I push, just like I have it doing the exports to, you know, Mac, Windows, Linux, web, whatever. So I finally got that fully working as far as I know. I haven't tested the builds very much, but you can see here's a non-Steam build. It builds all 5 builds of Godot that it has to do, and then does the export. And then here's a Steam build where it does, you know, the 3. Or I guess you're not actually seeing the Steam builds here. This is one where it didn't have to rebuild. So I'd have to go back a little while. The way that this is set up is if nothing changes in the Godot module, the code that actually gets compiled into Godot, that it won't recompile it. And it stores like a compiled version on Amazon S3. So here's one where the export failed, but the build process succeeded. So, oh, this is just the Windows one. I meant to click here and have it pop up the list. So if it succeeds on an earlier build, it'll upload that to Amazon S3, and the way that it knows this build still applies is it actually does like a hash of the directory with the Godot module. Anyway, so that is finally mostly done. I say mostly because I haven't tested it very much. I did like a quick test of the macOS Steam build, and it didn't log into Steam automatically, so that's a problem. But I don't know if that's actually a problem in my build, or like I was doing something weird on my macOS test machine when I was testing, or I don't know. But definitely a huge milestone, and I am confident that this week I will be able to get back to actually working on the network deterministic physics, and hopefully that's what we'll go back to next week on stream. If I don't get too distracted. I've gotten way distracted this week. Now this is just David tangent time. I got way distracted building this like custom 6502 computer, which has been super fun. I'm not a hardware guy. I'm building this from a kit, but it's super fun to learn hardware and another excuse to code in assembly for the 6502. But last night I broke a pin off of my ROM chip. So the way that this works is anytime I want to reprogram it, I got to take the ROM chip off of the board and then write the code on my computer and then flash the ROM with this EEPROM programmer and then put it back on there. And in the taking off and putting back on, I broke that pin off. So I'm going to try to solder a wire on there, and hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't work, I'll have to buy a new EEPROM. Anyway, I have too many projects, too many crazy things that I'm doing at all times. But yeah, so today, what are we working on? We are working on Stream Tools, as we were just looking at earlier. And there are 2 things I want to attempt to do. We may only do one of them because we always seem to run out of time, but the first one was an idea that someone had on last stream. I don't remember who it was, but that we add speech bubbles. And originally I was like, yeah, I don't really want to put the text that people say on screen because people could just turn up out of nowhere and say like really inappropriate or racist stuff or whatever. So that's dangerous. But then someone else had the idea, again, I forget who it was, that we could have special Discord roles for trusted people, and people who have the trusted Discord role who comment in Discord, because that's the only way we know what roles they have. So it wouldn't work for people who comment on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or whatever, unless there's some kind of role thing that we could do on those platforms too. I don't know. I don't think there is in YouTube, but maybe there's in Twitch. Twitch has a lot of features that I don't know about because I'm not super deep into how Twitch works. Anyway, if someone is commenting in the stream channel on my Discord, we can check for a particular role and then show what they're saying in the speech bubble. Ooh, I can see Akanako said something. Okay, Aknakos. Is that the right way to say your username? I feel like I've been saying Akanakos, and that doesn't look right now that I'm looking at the spelling there. Anyway. Oh, Aknako says that thinks the role was my idea. Maybe. I don't know. When you're on a stream, we merge our minds. We're just one consciousness, all thinking together. So yeah, we're gonna implement a speech bubble, and you do that Discord role thing. I think for the people who do not have the role or are coming from another service, we'll just show like some kind of little emoji thing. And again, Kenny NL, great creator of game asset packs, who we are using his little characters here, has this emotes pack, which also includes like some speech bubble things, which we'll try to use those. We'll see how it goes. They aren't exactly what I was envisioning for speech bubbles, but I think we could make it work. I found some others when I was Googling around before the stream. Where did I put that? This Pigs and Kings asset pack from Pixel Frog, who makes great assets also. He's the one who made the assets for Fish Game. Has some speech bubbles in this game, which I kind of like. Like, I really like aesthetically, so maybe we could grab those if the Kenny ones don't work out. And I found some random other thing on like open game art, which looked okay. There were a whole bunch of open game art that I did not like at all, so I didn't include them. But this one, I guess I thought looked averagely all right. Yeah, that's so simple. Like, I don't know. I could draw that. And if I could draw it, it's probably not a good sign. So yeah, we'll put the speech bubbles on there, using the role to determine whether or not we're going to actually show the text. And if we get that done and have enough time, the other thing that I would like to do is implement my sort of ideal for the opening screen that I talked about in last stream, which is rather than having the characters just bounce around, but to have them actually sort of like milling around in an environment doing things, which I think would be really cool. We could watch our characters, see how they interact. So Aknako says it's an invented name anyway, so it's like Godot versus Godot, I assume, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. Cool. Yeah, names are hard, even made up ones. So let's start on this speech bubble. Take a quick sip of tea here first. Typing here does create a character. Hi, Ross, but not right now. During the opening 10 minutes, during the countdown, characters would have spawned. I have it turned off now. Ideally, one day I'll have it running through the stream, but we're about to be hacking on it. We're going to be changing things, so I had to stop it. So I think first things first, we need to create a new scene to be our speech bubble. Oops, speech bubble. And that will be a 2D scene, although arguably it could be a control. I guess we'll see where it goes, because we will want, I think, to use some controls in here to get the right sizing. We'll want to have the bubble size expand to fit the text size, and the text is a control. So we'll figure out how to do that. And we need to grab Kenny's Assets? Oh, last time I said something when we were downloading Kenny's assets where it asks you, make a donation or whatever. And I'm like, I should donate to Kenny. He's made so many assets for so many of my games. I joined his Patreon. After last stream, I said it. I thought about it. I joined Kenny's Patreon. So now I am donating to Kenny for the wonderful assets that he makes. We'll download that. And we will be extracting it. I kind of want to take a look inside of it first, because people always do funny things with zip files. What was the name of it? Kenny emote. All right, so yeah, let me make a directory here. I don't want to take all of these things into the game. I don't want to import all of that junk, get all that in our Git repo. So we'll do Kenny emote directory where we'll extract it. Emotes pack. And let's get up gthumb to look at these. Yeah, they might not actually be in this directory, but that's fine. We can browse around. Sprite sheets, tile sheets, PNG. Are there no sprite sheets? Just empty. All right, pixel, style 1. Oh, empty meaning no directories, but not empty meaning it has some stuff in it. Okay, let's look at the, can I zoom? Okay. So we will need to do like a 9-patch thing where we cut out each part of this so that Godot can resize it to whatever size we need, which means I think we cannot use a sprite sheet. I think they need to all be separate PNGs. It is kind of nice to see them like this, though, zoomed and all at once. So they have these circular ones. I kind of like the square ones. I think they'll work better for text also if they are square. I like the harder borders, with those blue borders. Let's give that a shot. Whoa. Alexa just came alive. I don't know if you heard that. Ooh, I shouldn't have said her name. I shouldn't have said it. Okay. All right. Let's go to look in the PNG ones. Style 1. Which one is style 1? I think style 2 is what I was saying I liked, was these ones. Yeah. Okay. So let's bring style 2. Let's bring all these over because I do want to use the emoji ones for untrusted users. So I guess we'll do maybe a directory called speech. And we'll copy over our Kenny emotes. Pixel. Style 2. All of these. Okay. So let's just start with figuring out the 9-patch thing. Make sure we can get that right. Get our speech bubbles resizing as we need them to. And there's 2 ways to do that in Godot. There's actually like a 9-patch node, which I don't think I've ever used. And then there is doing it with Stylebox in the theme. So we would like take a panel and we would theme it to have this like 9-patch texture. Let's try with the 9-patch node because I've never used it and I'm kind of curious. 9-patch rect. Kind of curious how this works. Assets, speech, there we go. And we're going to take the basic one and drop it in our texture here. Oh, actually, I think we need to re-import these textures to be pixel art. Otherwise, we'll get the filter on them. And let me set that as the default if I haven't yet. Re-import. Okay. And drop that there. Oop. I want to zoom way in on this so we could kind of test it as we go. I'm going to like resize this, and then down below we are going to actually how do I zoom on this thing? Oh, here we go. There's the zoom in this little bottom tool window. And we need to go so that the corners and the sides are outside of the area that gets stretched. Wow, that does not look right at all. Okay, I think we're gonna have to like remove the here, let's pixel snap too. I think we're gonna have to remove the bottom. What the heck? I think we're gonna have to remove this bottom piece because it just gets totally stretched. And that doesn't look right. Also, even the edges don't look quite right. Or I guess they do. Maybe I just resized this too big. Let's bring it down to a more manageable size. And what we want is for the edges to still be a single pixel. Ooh, that's not right. That stretched. Actually, I want to go one more down. Yeah, so we don't want it to stretch this top area at all. Why is it stretching it? Patch margin. So that must be what I'm editing. Axis stretch. Tile. I want a tile always. Tile fit? That doesn't seem to be making any difference. We may have to take this to the docs, or we may have to just try the other way of doing this 9-patch thing. Any Godotians out there have any suggestions on how to make this 9-patch rect node work better? Just don't know why it's stretching this top pixel like crazy like that. It's like we've clearly moved it out. It's like not changing anything. Okay, here we go. So if I go above, we want for that to be 1 pixel. And like this corner, oh, actually maybe that's just because I just moved this up. But this corner, that's like successfully looks like 1 pixel. This looks like 2 pixels. Oh, maybe because I had it too high. There we go. Okay, so I had the start of the rect 1 above, so it was taking those 2 pixels and then, yeah, okay, I got it. We still have the problem with this part down here getting stretched like that. So I think what we'll have to do is actually cut that out of the sprite and then put a second sprite to like reattach it, which is fine. We can do that. And I guess we still have the question of whether this 9-patch rect node is the right way to do it, or a style box. I think that'll come down to how we get the automatic resizing to work. Let's actually play around with that. Let's see what we can get as far as making like a panel that resizes to fit its text, that kind of thing. What's going on in chat? Aknakos lol, I have the same issue here with Alexa. Oh, I said her name again. I'm looking forward to see you make it work. I've always had problems with it. Maybe if you put the vertical bars just around the little thingy at the bottom. Oh, actually, that could work if I just completely cut off the bottom. I think we'll still be missing this line though. Let's try it. Let's try it and see how that does. So if I move the absolute bottom up here and then pull that, or hang on, I'm 1 off. And pull this up there. So I think that'll get us close, but it'll still have this gap here because the original sprite doesn't have anything there. But otherwise, like, I think we just need to go to a pixel editor program and draw in that bottom line and separate out this little piece to something else. I think, unfortunately, for all of those other emotes, are we going to have to cut those up too in order to fit them in? Or maybe we can have those emotes use a rect that doesn't include the bottom and then put the background on with a different sprite. Or maybe we could just start with the idea that we have 2 possible conditions, one where the text fits in there and one where we put like some weird emote, and we'll just custom make that one and figure out how we're going to handle like the general case of how we're going to have all those different emotes in second. The vertical bar is just around the thing at the bottom. Not sure I understand what you mean with the vertical bars. How could we use the vertical bars to skip that thing? Like, I don't know if you're thinking something like that would include the thing. Oh, come on. Why can't I drag you down? Ah! So it would allow us to cut off more of it? I don't know. I feel like the way we're gonna have to do this is by editing the actual sprite. I'm gonna open up Steam, which will hopefully work, and get a sprite going, so I'm not playing around with pixel editor programs that I'm not great with. Ooh, and Steam didn't crash. For the last like 2 months or something, I've been having this issue with Steam crashing on Linux, and then I have to like delete it completely, reinstall it, and then it'll work one time, and then the next time I open it crashes. It seems that problem seems to have fixed itself, which is awesome. So we want a sprite. Let's open up our. Oh, what even thing was I working on here? Oh, I was working on a making like a kind of beat 'em up game where where I was gonna put me and my daughters in it, and so we had the green screen up, and we were recording us doing like punches and kicks in front of the green screen. I definitely want to finish that at some point. All right, so let's get over to my games directory, and this is in Stream Tools. So we'll start here with this one, and we need to split this into 2 sprites. So let's start. I always forget the shortcuts. So B and I think is what I want. Yeah. B to draw this in. And then I think E for eraser. Ooh, that eraser is way too big. Crank you down. All right. And we need to crop that. I believe that is there. Okay. So, yeah, I think we still want to have the bottom line, and then we're going to kind of cover up the bottom line with the other piece. So we will export this as something else. So it'll be, we'll just say like, I don't know, we'll just say speech bubble. Speech, no. Speech bubble, export, and then let's go back to where we still had this thing here. And we are going to take, I guess, yeah, I think we just need the part where the white comes in. So we'll go here, sprite crop, and let's export that. Speech bubble, I don't know what you call that thing, pointer, speech bubble pointer. Cool. So let's go back to Godot and see what we got. We're gonna replace this one with that, which means we'll have to redraw our rect, but that's fine. This is so annoying because like I don't know where to click. Okay, there we go. I've clicked to redraw it. There we almost go. One more. Okay. So that will resize to whatever we need it to resize to. and we need to see how the whole resizing thing in general is going to work. Because I actually do not know how to use this 9-patch rect to automatically resize to our text without doing some sort of code to do that. Because this isn't any kind of container, right? Like, let's look at the docs here. It descends from control, canvas item, yeah. So let's mess around with panel really quick and see if we can get a panel that resizes to the text that we put in it. And if we can do that, then let's make a style box theme item, I don't know what to call it, for it using a 9-patch. So to do that, I'm going to put a label in here. The label is going to say a bunch of stuff. Hello, welcome to the place now. And we need to change the font to a custom font, dynamic font. Let's grab our monogram extended. Oop, I have to get to the font data first. Font data. There we go. And now what do we have to do to make this panel resize to capture the text inside? So clip content, which is cut off what's in there. Size flags. Now that would be expanding itself to fill its parent, but we don't really want that. And this is just a plain panel. Maybe what I wanted was a panel container. Let's try a panel container. And not as a child there. Let's move the label to be a child of the panel container. There we go. That is looking much more promising. So if this text gets bigger and bigger, blah, blah, it will keep going that way. We need to make it auto wrap, and we need to set a min size. That's probably not going to be intelligent enough for us, though. We'll try it, though. So on the label, we want a min rect, let's say of, I don't know, 100, something like that. And that will mean that it's always at least 100. But will it always be at least 100 even if it's shorter? Yeah. So that we don't really want. Minimum size change be greater than its maximum size. I don't think that that helps us. Visible. Maybe we need to do a thing in code where when we change the text, we immediately set the minimum size to something. Why didn't this shrink it? Or, okay, no, I have to clear this size. Okay, so what I want to happen is if the text is really short, like just this, then I just want it to go get that wide. And if it gets up to a certain length, then I want a new line to happen. How do I make that work? So we auto wrap. If true, wraps the text inside the node's bounding rectangle. If resize the node, it will change its height automatically to show all the text. So we do want it to wrap. Clip text. It only shows the text that fits within size bounding rectangle. No, that we do not want. We may have to ask the Oracle of Google to see who has encountered this problem before and what solutions they had. Because I can picture a bunch of solutions where we put in the text, and then if it exceeds a certain width, we then clip the width and set auto wrap, which I guess we have to set auto wrap and clip the width separately. Or not size, we want min size. Because, yeah. That is actually weird that we can't just change this one. And then how do we get this to shrink? Do we have to like clear the size on that? All right, well, let's start writing some code and see what we can make happen. So we need a function to set the text, set speech text. And we need to have access to our different variables here. And I guess we could make this panel container be our root node. I don't know if that makes sense at this point. But yeah, we may be changing the root node later, I guess is what I'm saying. On ready var, let's grab our panel container. And our label. And so the first thing we want to do is set the label text to text. And then I think hang on, let's see what our defaults are here, because I think I want to have it default to not have a minrect or any of that business. I want to default it to, I guess, not auto wrapping. I want auto wrap off. So maybe we even need like a reset method here, so we know what we're getting into. Make it be protected or private or however you want to call it in a language that doesn't have access control. And we are going to say label auto wrap equals false. And that's good. Oh, and we want to clear any minrect here. Rect min size. And probably any size also. Rect size. And so we set the text, and then we are going to say something like if label rect size x is greater than, let's say, 150, should probably make that into a constant. Say const max width 150. And if it's greater than 150, then we say label rect min size x equals 150. And I should actually start using my constant, max width. And then we need to set label auto wrap. So I guess first we need to reset, set the text, set auto wrap on. Does that look all right? We need to try it with a bunch of options here. So I guess I need a way to fill this thing out and test it. I guess we can add just like a line edit here. We'll just move it someplace. I don't know. Where we will type, and when we hit enter, we're going to just drop the text in here. Set speech text, new text. So we're not going to keep most of this code or most of the stuff on this scene. We're just kind of figuring out how we want this to work, and then when we've got that, we're going to clean it up, remove all the like excess testing nodes and whatever. I'm just trying to get an idea of how this should work. So, well, that didn't work. So I would have wanted that to resize down to just be as wide as those 4 characters. Let's go look in the remote debugger here and see what it is that is keeping it that width. So if auto wrap on, rect size is too big. Maybe we're doing things in a weird order. So if I set rect size to 0 on the x-axis, that should automatically, or no, okay, no. We're past, we have a minimum rect 0 and we have auto wrap on. I wonder if it's just like not resizing things as soon as we are changing things. So we reset this, and then we set this text, and we kind of want like the control to completely relay itself out at this point, and then we want to make these changes, and then also have it like relay out. And so maybe we need to call a method somewhere to make it do that. Let's go check out the help. We'll go look in control, see what we've got, what kind of methods we've got. Accept event, add some stuff, force some stuff, get some stuff. Grab has minimum size changed. Invalidates the size cache in this node and in parents nodes up to the top level. Intended to be used with get minimum size when the return value is changed. Setting rect min size directly calls this method automatically. So we are calling that. Maybe we're doing things out of order. Maybe we need to set the text and then reset it, and then set the auto wrapped, and then also reset the rect min size. Let's try this. Still no good. Let's try something that's big. See if we can get it to... No, it's not doing nothing for us here. Oh, there we go. It went past the whatever widths. Okay, I guess maybe I set that constant too high. Let's see, what is the width right now? It is 174. What does 150 look like? And it won't go down because I do not have auto wrap turned on. So size, or I need to set min size 154 or 150. No, 150 looks good. So let's change. Wait, 150 is what it already was. So why did it need to get so long before it shrunk it down? Let's just try like, okay. Let's try running through the code manually in the editor, like what the editor is going to do. And then if that doesn't give us any insight, we'll run through it in the debugger. So let's look at our code. We are setting the label text. Then we are resetting these properties. And then we will be doing some if stuff. So let's just start here though. So in the label, we're changing its text to a short thing. Then we are setting the min rect to nothing and then the overall size to nothing. The min to nothing and then the overall size to nothing. Wait, and we would have already disabled auto wrap. This actually kind of worked. I did it with auto wrap at the end though. I didn't do this quite in order. Let's just try this. Moving the auto wrap to the end. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, wow, why did it get long again? Maybe I need a greater than an equals so that it doesn't think it's not at the max width because it's exactly the max width. Let's try that. So No. Well, now it went down. Why does it? It's like every other time. I think we're missing something to cause it to reflow when we want it to like reflow. And by reflow, I mean like recalculate its layout. Maybe let's switch this all around. Let's do like minimum size changed. What was that method called? Minimum size changed. Minimum size changed. I don't know why it's not auto-completing it. Really? Oh, because we're in node. Okay, I want to call that on label. Label. Okay, let's give this a try. All right, let's look through the docs a little more. See what we got. Go back up. Look through the method list. Use focus. A bunch of setters. Show modal. Warp mouse. Some signals. Resized. Or what we need to do is do some deferred changes. Like we reset it and then set deferred to set it. Like, let's do label text equals nothing. And then we reset. And we can pass arguments to set deferred, right? Or not set deferred, call deferred? Call deferred. We're going to do like a private version of, I'll call it do set speech text, the actual text, and then func do set speech text. So we give it a chance to reset everything, hopefully, and then we change some stuff up. Let's give that a try. It still bounces back like that. What the heck is the deal with that? It's like every other time it goes up, and I think that's like because our reset isn't taking place fully until after like the signal is done. I'm going to try like reasserting the text. Or maybe we have to set the text and then wait for this sizing stuff to come through. This has turned into me just randomly trying stuff. If you guys have any ideas, certainly let me know. If I don't get this in the next, 5 minutes or whatever, we'll try Googling it. Hey, that's working. Okay, so we are growing correctly. Now, can we shrink? No. Okay, one problem solved. New problem. New problem coming next. So we clear the text. Set the text. What if we set the text again? Label text equals text. So what we want to see is that it was big, and then we change it to something, and then it is small. There's a whole other different way we could approach this, actually. What if, rather than having a node that exists always that we are changing, we simply create the node? every time, and so that we can set its properties right. But then how do we still know like what size it is? Well, I guess this part is working, so the expanding is working. Just the shrinking is not working. What if we clear the min size again? Okay, now shrink. Or okay, hang on. Let's look at remote here and see if that's not the label but the container that's too wide. Let's see what's too wide here. So the just trying something here. No. Size, let's do both of them. Rect size. No. Randomly trying things until something works. Okay, I think we gotta go back to the drawing board. This is not working in this way. I don't know if it happens, but in any UI update call, I call update in all components to be updated, panel and label, for example, just to make sure. So update is supposed to call underscore draw, the this method, which we are not using for anything, although I wonder if it's used inside those controls. Let's try it. Let's try Aknakos' idea here. So we'll reset and call update, and we'll label and call update, and then we'll do this junk and call update. So we're calling update a lot. If this works, we can go back and remove some of those and see which things are needed and which ones aren't. Let's also just make sure that our expanding thing happens. No, all those updates did not help us. Those updates did not help us. And if I look back in the scene tree in the remote debugger, we have text is set here, auto wrap is off, min rect size has changed correctly, but rect size is too big still. So I wonder, do we reset that? So here, change min rect size. What if we change, my fingers were not aligned there, rect size, because that's the one thing that hasn't updated correctly. Now let's shrink it. No. Yeah, I think we need to go back to the drawing board. Let's first Google. We will Google to see if someone else has come up with a really good idea. What does Aknako say? Is it the panel not updating or the label when it shrinks? So if we look at the remote debugger, do I still have it running? No. I just want to run this scene. So we make it big, we shrink it down, and then we go look in the remote debugger. Last time I looked in here, it appeared to be the label. Yeah, so the label still has its rect size set to 150. And I bet if we cleared it out, it actually stuck, or no, yeah, we cleared it out and went to 25. If I jump over here, no, it still didn't do it. That's interesting. So the label has shrunk. Panel container has not shrunk. Let's try shrinking the panel container and see what that does. You know, you might be onto something, Aknakos. I was looking in there and I was seeing the label being wrong. But let's see if the panel container, let's try clearing its rect size. Let's see what that does. We have victory! All right, sweet. Thanks, Aknakos. All right, let's delete some of this crap to find out what we need and what we don't need. We'll get rid of all of these updates because I don't believe they are necessary. And then we'll get rid of the set deferred and see if that is necessary. Ooh, that didn't work. We are now broken again. What did I do? So was one of those updates necessary? Let's try this update. No, we've gone back somehow to this being... So maybe this is breaking our detection here. And what I actually need to do is not set this to 0 here, but set this to 0 up here. And let's get rid of the update again. Let's try this. Okay, so that's back to working. That is still working. Sweet. So we don't need these updates. I'm just going to delete them now. Completely delete them. Oop. And let's get rid of this call deferred and just copy this code up there. Let's see if that works. Just pass this. We're okay with this looking like insane garbage for the moment. Make sure the expanding works. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, I wonder if the call deferred was necessary to get rid of that problem. Okay, so I guess we're sticking with the call deferred. And don't need this. Let's see if these are necessary. Nope, wrong thing. Don't want to run the whole thing. Just want to run the scene. Okay, and we shrink it, and it works. Okay, so these are unnecessary. That's looking pretty good. I wonder if we have a situation like this where we lose a line though. Will it shrink? Like, because we're only setting the panel width to 0. So let me just try and remove just a line. So we're still at the maximum width, but we're gonna lose the bottom line. Yep, okay. So we might need to do this always. Let's try that. And so we'll remove a line, and it went up. Okay, we may have the resize logic. Sweet. That was not fun to figure out, but we got it, so we're good. So the next thing is we want to actually make this panel container look like what we want it to look like. So to do that, we're going to go into custom styles, and we're going to make a new style texture box, I believe. And we will drop in our speech bubble texture. And then here we will set up our 9 patch again. All right. Do I have to do things with axis stretch? Yes, I want these to be tile. I don't know really what the difference is between tile and tile fit. Maybe we should check that out in the docs. Why is that offset? Like, that's a little weird. Oh, did I not do this? No, they are pixel snapped. It is weird, though. Is maybe the panel container not at a pixel snapped size? Position, min size. I guess we have to look at it. Is it because its position is not pixel snapped? Do I have pixel snap turned on here? Use pixel snap. There we go. It's because its position was not pixel aligned. Okay, its position is pixel aligned now. We have nice round numbers over here. So that is now looking right. And our label is invisible because it is white. Let's make the text be black. There. All right. The margins and like line height might be weird. We might need to tune that a little bit. So let's just try this. See how this is looking. Yeah, so we will want like a bigger margin between the panel container and the text on the left and right, and that might be too much of a line height. Zaknako saying, pretty painful to get this working for such a simple use case, huh? I'll eventually try this on my own and see if there are other ways to make this work. Yeah, I am curious too. I never did Google it, but there might be some easier way to make this happen. I mean, we can Google it together. We are hanging out together right now. So let's say Godot, say container resize label. We'll see what we get with that. Dynamically resize label container. That sounds like exactly what we want. I have a structure something like this: margin container, panel, vertical, texture, label. It's currently anchored to the bottom. Ooh, I just got bringed. Thank you for subscribing, whoever that was. Please say something in chat so I know who mysteriously bringed me. It's currently anchored to the bottom right corner. I want to resize the panel to fit the text and the label while still being aligned to the right. What's the best approach for this? Yeah, okay. It looks like the issue is that the panel just won't update to fit until the next frame. So this person's doing something similar to what we're doing. They're yielding on idle frames. That's the whole frame later. We're not going to the whole frame later. We're just deferring to the end of the current frame, which is what set deferred basically does. Not set deferred, sorry, call deferred, going over here. So this person came up with a similar solution to us, except we're waiting not quite as long as they are. Resize and draw a weird container to help us resizing hbox and labels. How do I update label size when I change the text? It could be similar. You can nest the label into control nodes to let them control the label's bounding box. Yeah, but we want the reverse. We want the label to control the parent's size. Put the label inside a container of some kind and set its size flags to fill expand in both horizontal and vertical axes. Yeah, that again is controlling the label size based on the parent size, not the other way around. We want the label to drive the parent size. Some banging going on up there. Yeah, I think the solution we have works well enough. Let's accept this as a possible necessary evil for the time being, and we can always make it look better later if someone comes up with something. If Agnakos, if you manage to play with it on your own and come up with something, let me know on Discord, and we can clean up this code later. Or you can make a pull request, a merge request to the repo if you want. All right. So what were we doing next? We needed to add a little bit of margin, and I don't know if we can do that here or if we're gonna have to add another node in the middle. I think we can though, because we're doing theme stuff, and theme stuff gives us a lot of control. Yeah. We add a little expand margin on each of the sides. That's nice. I still feel like the line height on this font is just too high. See if we can edit the custom font. Content margin? Let's see what this is. What's the difference between this and expand margin? Seems like the same kind of thing. Although it moves it in a more predictable direction. Like, I think it is kind of weird that this expand margin moves outside of our bounding box, and this keeps us inside of our bounding box. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's look at that font and see if we can... Where did I put the font? I guess it's on the label. See if we can decrease the line height somehow. Settings, extra spacing. We have size, we have outline, we have bitmaps, we have filter. We don't want any of those. Can we do some negative margins? Oh, that actually is quite nice. It seems, I hate doing fractional values when I'm doing pixel stuff, but maybe -2. Let's see it without the box highlighting it. That might be good. We might still want a little bit extra left and right margin to But the line height, the space between each line is just too much. So can we fix that? Let's Google real quick. Godot label line height is a gettable line height property. Reduce the space between lines. Oh, this is a Godot 2 thing. Reduce the space in between lines, enrich text with dynamic font. Extra spacing to the top and bottom, negative values. Yeah, but like, that doesn't seem to affect. Okay, what if we make the negative values a lot bigger and then compensate by making a bigger content margin? So extra spacing, top and bottom. Do -2 on both sides. Actually, maybe that'll just work. Let's try that. It shrinks. That might be okay. Let's add some new content margin on the bottom of our panel container here. Content margin, we'll do, I don't know, 2. We actually don't even see it. Or do we see it? Did I just... Label is this size. Panel container is this size. Now the top just looks off again. Okay, let's... Okay, we did see it. And the bottom... Yeah, bottom, let's keep something there. And I want to resize these things just so that they take their natural size. And panel container. Ooh, okay. That's too much. Let's add some more content size here, content margin here. Too much. So, okay, we reduce it, but we don't see it because we have to then like shrink the size of it to see it. Okay, let's give this a shot. That is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Pretty even. I think maybe I'd like a little more padding on the left. Although maybe it's just we see an extra padding on the right because there's a space there. I guess we have to get all the way up to the... How would we know that there's a space there? I guess we know there's not a space there here, and it's pretty even. No, give us another pixel on the left. Give us another pixel on the left. Let's bring this one up to 5. Let's see what that... There we go. That's good. Now we just got to stick that little talking thing down at the bottom. What's going on in chat here? There's a shrink option in the sizing too, right? I think maybe you could help with that. Oh. Yeah, actually. The panel container could maybe shrink itself automatically. In the sizing flags. Where are the sizing flags for this panel container? Here we go. Size flags. We would have shrink end for the horizontal because we want it to come back this way. For the vertical, I guess shrink end too. Thanks, Aknakos. Let's see if that helps us, like, here. Nope. That kind of broke everything. Yeah, this usually just affects the size relative to its parent, not relative to its children. So we still have to come here and hit, size 0 for it to try and pull around its children again. Unfortunately, that doesn't help. What else was going on in chat? In web dev, I think one is like padding, the other is like margin. Q is align center vertical selected in the label. I don't think we want align center vertical. Let's go see what it says. Align v-top, v-align top. Yeah, and we don't want it align centered. I think we want it a left and top, although I guess that's more of an aesthetic choice, right? We'll see what it looks like when we actually get it above our characters. Okay, so we have this going on here. I think we want to make the little pointer on the bottom be a child of panel container, so we can use anchors to position it to be stuck to the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. We're not going to use a sprite because we want to use control sizing. We're going to use a texture rect. And this is going to be, I don't know, pointer texture. And speech bubble pointer. Grab that on here. And, oh, we can't use anchors because panel container is, of course, a container. Let's try some things here. Let's duplicate this. Let's make just a panel. Let's change type to panel. I feel like panel should work, honestly. We're just going to temporarily change onReady var panel container equals panel. And let's, of course, make sure we can see them both independently. I went to the wrong place. So let's move this panel container over. So I just want to see if we can do this with a panel and not a panel container. Okay, well, I definitely did not change everything that needed to change here. Panel container. And we also want this to be panel label. Okay. So let's see what the panel container does. Okay, that just does not work. I think we would need to manually deal with its sizes. Okay, so it needs to remain a panel container. And I'm thinking if the parent is also a control, then we could use anchors. Or I would always just use code. We can always just use code if we have to. What's going on in chat here? If you put Mizuki, hey Mizuki, welcome. If you put the label node in another container node, it will do the automatic sizing thing in the editor, I think. But I don't think it works with the base container node. Aknakos, I remember the editor requiring me to manual hide and show the panel to correctly resize when labels are involved. I don't know if that's still the case. By panel, I mean container. Yeah, so some automatic sizing is happening by putting it in a container, but not all of the automatic sizing that we wanted, and that's why we have this extra code. So I think we have to stick with a container. That just leaves the question of how we are going to position this pointer texture. I'm going to try putting another control here. And I'm going to try making this be a child of that, and this be a child of there. And see if we can use... Okay, the controls, like, rect is way over here. That's craziness. So if we tell this to position at the... This would be bottom center. Yeah, it'll come up here. So we can't use anchors mixed with containers. We might just want to position this pointer texture in code. That might end up being the easiest way to do this. See if chat has any ideas. How about a horizontal box container? You mean like an HBox container? I don't know that that'll let us have things overlap, but let's try it. Let's see what happens. Or I guess a VBox, because we're talking vertical. VBox. And I don't think that we can have this come up and overlap the other one. But let's see if we can. Can we do like a -10? Oops, wrong direction. Y. We want to go Y here. Oh, we can position it, but it doesn't give us any automatic kind of properties, at least that I can see. We can position it to overlap the box above it, but it's basically all manual. We have to set like its exact position. So why even use it? You know, why even use the H box if we gotta position it manually? So let's just position the pointer texture manually, which means we could technically make it a sprite if we wanted to, but this is all controls, so let's stick with controls. Get rid of this one. And I'm going to get rid of this 9-patch rect that we aren't using anymore. And let's grab our pointer texture. And I don't know, for whatever reason, the idea of calling this a panel container is starting to bother me. I feel like we should just call it container. Panel container, rename it to container. So we have a container that holds it. And our pointer texture. So once we have all of the size stuff figured out here, we want to position the pointer texture. So this would be rect position. we want the y to be equal to the container rect size, which of course we're setting the rect size to 0 right here, which I don't know if we'll have to do another call deferred because we're setting this to 0 and then we're going to try and use it. Well, let's see. So container rect size -1, right? And actually, we kind of want to position both here. So let's do a vector 2. We'll do 5, comma this. Let's see what that does. Hey, oh, it worked for a moment and then stopped working. What's the point at which it stopped working? Was it, did I put it in? All right, well, let's do another call deferred, see what happens. Call deferred. We'll do position pointer texture. I don't know if this will get called because we're like doing it within another call deferred. Like that might end up waiting all the way till the next frame. But let's see. We'll see if we see it jump. It seems to be working. I'm not seeing any kind of flicker or jump or anything. That may have gotten it. Let's see if it shrinks right. Hey, so all we need to do is position this also in our reset up here. Or we can actually just call it position pointer texture. Let's see if when we start up, or actually, we don't need it to be positioned on reset. We just need it to be positioned like in the editor, right? And I can do that just with some, we'll drag it down to here. And then we are always setting the X to 5. So, are we good? You know, why is that? I get hung up on these details. Like, why does this have an extra space after it? Probably just need to shrink this one last time. There we go. Yeah, I think we did it. How much time do we have? That took us a long time to get this working. What's going on in chat? Oh, nothing new really. Okay, so we can get rid of this line edit that we've been using for testing. And I feel like this is enough code that we just made here to commit this to Git so we don't screw it up. It also makes me wonder if I really want to commit all of these PNGs. Because I don't know how much of these we'll end up using or if we're going to end up editing them a ton. So let's just add the ones that we made here, and we'll leave the rest of those uncommitted for now. And we'll add the source part. The rest of those are just those emote PNGs. All right. Made a speech bubble. Woohoo! Yay, Aknako says. Yay for everyone. Okay, so, wow, at a distance, I actually see like this little gap. Yeah, I guess that's bound to happen when we're scaling at uneven values. Like these scales are, these zoom values are fractional. In the actual thing, we won't be scaling anything by fractional values. Okay, so Now we need to add this to the character. Speech bubble. And we need to position it. How? I don't want to cover up the name necessarily. Do I want to go above the name? Let me make sure pixel snap is on. Pixel snap is on. Let's bring it. So I want it at the start of the name. Or we don't know where the name is going to start because it's centered. So I don't know. Let's try here, see how that looks. And we are going to add to our ready function, our ready method here to hide it. I like keeping things like showing in the editor, and then, as opposed to having it be saved as invisible, and then make them invisible in the ready function so that, when I'm working on the game, I can see everything that's there. Speech bubble. And we will start by hiding it. And I think we're going to need to have a queue of things. So it'll be like speech queue. And we're going to need a timer to show and then hide the messages. So timer, call it speech timer. Name could be below the character. That is an interesting idea, Aknakos. It could be, because that would look better to have the speech bubble coming out of the character rather than coming out of a name. Although I don't know. Let's see how it looks, and then we'll adjust. What does Mizuki say? You can also switch the scene tab so it refreshes back to min size. Really? If I switch switch the scene tab, it will refresh back down to minimum size. Let me see that. So panel container, we'll just like stretch it because whatever. And then I switch over here and come back. I guess I'm not sure what you mean. You might need to give me the exact steps for what will trigger it to shrink back down. All right, let's finish coding up our speech queue, and then we will see how it looks on the character. And then if it doesn't look quite right, we'll try Aknakos' idea of bringing the name down below. So we'll do like it could just be say, but I'm going to say add speech. And this will be text, string. We're going to do our speech queue. We'll append to our speech queue text, and then we'll say something like, well, we'll check if our speech timer is running. Let me first get the speech timer into a variable. Speech timer. If speech timer is running. Oh, come on. It's something. Is processing? Is stopped. Okay. If is stopped, actually that is what we need, I think. If it's stopped, then we will start it. Do we want to start it first? Okay, so ultimately we're going to have some sort of like show next speech method, which is going to be like text equals speech queue pop front, and then we are going to do our speech bubble visible equals true, speech bubble set speech text, and then we'll say if speech queue, or no, we always want the timer to go. Yes, we always want the timer to go. So speech timer, we'll start And then at the start of this, we need to say if speech queue size is 0, then we will hide the speech bubble and bail. Okay, so I guess we don't want to, or hang on, no, if it is stopped, then we're going to start it up by doing show next speech text. Sounds more like English. Show next speech text, and then we're going to have our timer call this method. Hang on. We will set our wait time to say, I don't know, 10 seconds. We'll see what feels right. Timeout. We're gonna, do we want it to do a timeout and then call it, or do we want to call directly to it? Let's separate them so it's more obvious what is happening from just looking at the code. I guess I was trying to decide between having this be the callback that then calls show next speech text, or just having the callback be show next speech text. And I feel like this is more explicit, so we're gonna roll with that. Okay, so an overview of what we got going on here. We do add speech, that puts it in the speech queue. If the speech timer is not running, then we jump to show speech text. We check to see if there's anything in there. That won't apply the first time this happens. There will be something in there for sure. So we grab what that is, we set the speech bubble to visible, we set the speech text, and then we start the speech timer. When the timer goes off, we come over here. Let's assume there's nothing else in the queue. It checks the queue is empty. We hide the speech bubble and return. So that should get the whole flow, I think. If you guys see any bugs, let me know. Looking at this code to control the speech bubble with text and a timer reminds me of the new tween coming in Godot 4. Yeah, the new tween coming in Godot 4 is going to be so cool. I'm very excited about it. I'm not sure like if it's been merged. I remember there was kind of like the whoever was working on that PR was working on it, and then it kind of stalled for a while and wasn't merged, but I think it might have just gotten merged. I'm not sure. We can take a quick peek at that actually. Godot tween rewrite PR. Take me to the PR. Oh, it's merged. It was merged on June 19th, possibly? 2 days. When was it? When was the merge? Okay, yeah, June 19th. So, a month ago. I read like so many issues and PRs and stuff in the Godot repository. I get mixed up about what's going on. But it was merged 6 weeks ago, so that's exciting. It's going to be good stuff. Ooh, you made a video about it, Aknakos? Drop the link. Shameless plugs allowed as far as I'm concerned. I would love to see the video. All right, so we got this going. We need to actually trigger it. So let's get back to our chat scene, wherever I put that. Here we go. The code. And I should have made constants for these IDs or a num or something, because like I don't know what any of these numbers are. Let's do that right now. We'll make a num. This will be event type, I guess, or maybe that should actually be in the restream autoload. Autoload, restream. We'll throw the enum up in here. Enum event type. And let's get up the restream documentation so we can figure out what that is. Ooh, thanks, Aknakos. I see your video link just showed up. Restream dev API. Oh, I saw you put it, I guess, in the general channel on on Discord, so that won't get, you know, aggregated out to everyone who's watching the stream. If you want the people on the stream to see it, put it in the stream channel. I don't think you can put it in the comments on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like links, but if you put it on Discord, maybe it'll get aggregated over to YouTube. I don't know. All right, so event sources, events. All right, so these, are these the IDs? Yes, they are. So which ones do we care about? We'll copy and paste the list here. We don't need to put all event types. We're just kind of making this as we go. So we care about 1, 4, 5, 11, blah, 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 blah. So 1 is Discord text. Discord text. Do we use equals or do we use colons? I even forget. Enumerations. I think we use equals, equal signs. And number 4 is Twitch text. Twitch text equals 4. What else have we got? 5 YouTube text. YouTube text 5. 15, or I guess 11 is the next one sequentially. Facebook personal text. Personal text. What is 13? Facebook page text. And then 15. What is 15? Periscope. Periscope text equals 15. I'll write a little to-do to fill in the rest of the event types, which I may or may not ever do. Add the rest of the event types. And I guess these are chat events specifically. There might be other kinds of events in the Restream API, so I'll call them chat event type. And if we go over here, do Restream chat event type. This is Discord. And 4, 5, and 15 is YouTube, or Twitch, YouTube, Periscope. Twitch, YouTube, Periscope. Twitch. YouTube. Periscope. Let's see if we can make this a little bit easier to read. I don't know if that's syntactically okay, or if we have to put some backslashes. There. And 11 and 13. Facebook and Facebook. All right, okay, so now I know that this one is Discord, and that's the one we want to do a speech bubble, which means we'll need to get the character. So we'll switch this around. We'll say if, or no, this is fine, and then we'll just return the character down here. Return characters chat name. Oh, and it's mad because I said this was void. We'll just not declare a type, even though I guess we could probably safely say it's a node 2D. So I'll say var character, and then we need to check our roles because we decided people on the Discord with the trusted role, which I just made up, and I granted it to a whole bunch of people. People whose usernames I recognized from having attended previous streams, and I may have missed some people. If you are a regular stream chatter and I did not add the trusted role to you on Discord and you're on the Discord, ping me, let me know. Probably the most likely reason is if you have a different Discord username than you use on YouTube and you're like usually chatting through YouTube. Yeah, just ping me. If you have chatted constructively on a stream before, I will give you the role. It's cool. So we need to check the role. And for that, I want to look at the structure of the Discord event that we get back from the Restream API. Here we go, which goes author, roles, and then it's a name in there. So we're gonna need to like loop through and see if that author has those roles. So we're gonna make like a little method to check that because looping is involved. We'll say like has Discord role, and we'll take the author dictionary and return a Boolean. And so we'll say for we'll say role in author roles, because right, it was just called roles. Yes, it was, which will contain another dictionary, which we're going to be testing. If role, name equals trusted, because that is what I named the role, then we return true. Otherwise, if we get to the end, we'll return false. Bam. What did I do wrong here? Role name equals trusted. Expect to assign. Oh, equals instead of equals. So we'll say if has. Oh wait, I should pass in the role name. Role name. Rather than hard coding it here. I mean, I will hard code it, but I just don't want to hard code it in this like little helper method. Has Discord role event payload. We need to get the author dictionary out of there. Author, and the role is trusted. Then we'll do character, add, what do we call it? Add speech. Add speech. And the actual contents, we did that in this earlier one. Event payload text. So this should actually put the text on the character if you have the right Discord role. And I feel like I should have tested this before wiring it all up, because odds are we're going to try it and it's just going to not work the first time and then I'll have to debug it anyway. But let's live dangerously. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. So there goes me, which... Oh yeah, I'm in Discord. I was going to say, but my chats don't count because I'm usually chatting through the Restream chat. I also don't know if I have this role. Did I give myself the role? I might not have. Okay. Folks, ooh, Aknakos came in there, but it didn't show anything. Well, so Aknakos, you said something in YouTube. Go say it in Discord in the stream channel, because I won't be able to get your roles unless you actually say it in Discord. But let me, while you're potentially doing that, I'm going to try to... Hey, Ross said something. Hey, some words! Ross has some words. Let's see if Ross's words go away. True. So it should go away after 10 seconds. Yeah, Aknagos, I think you're right that we need to move the name to the bottom, because that just does not look right. It does not look right having the speech coming above the name. Let me just see if I put myself in this role. Hey, I did. Okay, so I got it. All right, let's rearrange this. Let's go to the character scene and rearrange things. So we want to pull the name label down to the bottom here. I kind of wish I had done that with... How does that look? These bounding boxes always throw me off. Okay, I'm going to move it up a little bit. And am I pixel snapping? Good. And we'll grab the speech bubble. I think it's G. I want to press G. No. Yes? No. W. Okay, we'll put this down here like that. Am I pixel snapping? Why does it seem so weird right now? Like I keep seeing this line. Let me look at what the speech bubble. Okay, round values. All right, well. Is speech bubble still a normal node? What the pointer texture? It has a round position. Okay. I'm just being paranoid about non-pixel aligned values. All right, let's go take a look, see if that happened. All right, so now our names are on the bottom. And there's a speech bubble, which does not look right. It needs to be further to the right. Let me... maybe like right centered. Let's see how that looks. Why didn't my text come in? Whoa! Aknakos, your message is like way crazy. So we need to, there's some positioning stuff we've got to do. I think we could probably solve that with messing around with control container alignment stuff. But this is cool. Let me see what people are saying in chat. I've just been like testing and not watching the actual content of people's messages. Oh, so Aknakos, you'll have two people in there because you have a Discord self and a YouTube self. It'd be kind of cool to put like a little icon to show which service you're coming from. Ross says, this is great. Possibly slow down a bit just to make it easier to read the text. That is, yes, I concur with that, especially because like you guys are seeing it at 30 frames a second. Whoa, why didn't it trim that? We spent so much time working on this. Okay, I'll have to check out why that didn't work. But let me slow down the characters first. So, I don't know exactly what speed. This will not update in real time because it's a variable. So I think I'll actually have to restart it. Or maybe I could do something slick in the remote. The remote debugger thing here. So if I grab everyone at once, I can't grab everyone at once. Well, so what did I change it to? 100? I guess my character should now be going at 100. Yeah, that seems about good. That seems about good. Let me make everyone else be 100. I wonder if that's too slow. Octago says, yeah, this is so great. May I tell other people in streams about this package? I mean, yeah, you totally can. Like it's open source. It's on here's the link. I'm pretty sure I put an MIT license on it. So, you know, anyone can grab it and change it and do whatever. The code is kind of a disaster right now, as you know, we've been building this together, you've seen. Like we spent so much time trying to get the text to not do what it was doing on Ross's character there. Yeah, let me write some more stuff here. There is like a kind of, oh, that delay wasn't that bad. Yeah, like Ross's one is all out of whack. My character's one seems to be working. Like I wrote a short thing and then it got short, but Ross's stayed long. Oh, see, mine didn't work there. Mine like blew past the max here too. Specia, I don't know how to say your name. Thanks for joining our little character party here. Long dramatic pause. Yeah, so something's going wrong with our with that thing we worked so long on to try and get the alignment right. I wonder if so we are doing set or call deferred. which should defer to the end of the frame rather than deferring to the next frame. I wonder if we should just go all the way to deferring to the next frame as the thing we do. Emotes don't show in the bubble. Interesting. So like just text emotes or like emotes? Wait, where's my character? Whoa, it totally sucked it out. You know, I think the reason is that the Restream API is passing us the emote images, and oh, sorry, Specky, you are not you do not have the trusted role. Let me give it to you, and then your text will appear too. Let me quick do that. Roles. You are now trusted on the Discord server. Give it a shot, Specky. Or not Specky, Seki, or Sekia, or however you pronounce it. Let me know. Not seeing it come through. I saw it in Discord, but it's not appearing. I can go look at the logs and see if it just didn't give you right roles. I don't know what has to happen for the oh, there we go. It's cool. I also tested the no trusted role. Yeah. Thanks, Seki, for doing a very valuable test. The does it fail when it should fail? But now your thing is coming through. I think it just needed a little time to sync. So we still have to solve the problem with the text bubbles not resizing. I'm going to write this down and say to do speech bubble resizing. And the emotes. So there is a thing in the Restream API where it passes us the emotes and where in the text string they should appear, but like they're not included in the text. They're like turned into images, which I hate that I have to actually take this off the screen to go look at the Restream API, but I'm just gonna take off the screen for a second, guys. Sorry. Where is the thing in here about that? They like wrote a whole section about it. Emojis and replaces. So emojis provided as UTF-8 symbols, so it's your decision about how to render them. Links, processing, and display is your choice as well. In cases where event source has support for custom emojis, replaces will be included into the event payload. So Discord supports custom emojis. Replaces is an array of objects with a required from, to, and type field, where from is a position in the event text. So I think that's like the character number that we should be inserting this emote from which you should start the replacement, and 2 is the position of replacement end. That's actually kind of weird. Why would it have a beginning and end? I don't know. Replaces provided in reverse order, so you can just iterate over them and replace directly in the text, and don't worry about the replacement position changing. Okay. The problem is that's a great way to have that set up if you were doing this like in like HTML and JavaScript. Like we could insert like image tags at the right spot within the text. I'm not entirely sure how we would easily do this in Godot unless like rich text labels can have images. Godot rich text label image code. Image. It can. Okay, so we could totally insert those emotes. This just would require us to parse things a little bit. Let me look in the logs here. And so Aknakos was the last one to use an emote. Let me scroll up and see if I can find Aknakos' message. Okay, so payload, author. Alphas uses, or no, that was a normal text one. Okay, so, or what? So this is, who wrote this? Author, Aknakos, nickname. The text was, yeah, it uses a BB code. Oh, okay, so that was just something I didn't see. Okay, so let me go up, Aknakos, roles trusted, text. star saw. And then we should have a replaces section, unless we're not printing out the replaces section. We're printing out the event, but are we just printing out part of it? Let me see. Where are we printing this? Print data. So we're printing the whole chat data received. Let me go look in the restream. Chat data received. I want to just see that we're not chopping any of this out of here. No, we're passing the whole JSON string. Okay. So back to here. I do not see the replaces unless I'm just missing it. Payload, event identifier, discriminator, ID, name, nickname color, bot, text, event source, timestamp. So it's not giving us a replaces, but it is giving us this star saw, which I guess is the slight smile emoji. I wonder if it gives us like different things for different. I'm going to try. Oh, saw was a text. Okay, cool. So let's go down here. Saw was a text, blah, 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 blah. So then would it be the one before that? Author, discriminator, nickname Knockos. Text is empty. Okay, but I don't see replaces in here. Event payload, discriminator, name, nickname, event source, event ID, timestamp. Huh. That is kind of lame. So let me just, I'm going to write one myself. Just give it one last look here. So I have the role admin and trusted. Event source, user ID, timestamp, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if Restream just can't get the Discord emojis. Let's go look back here again. So okay, so I see the replaces on Mixer. Yeah, that's real useful. Let's see what we got. So Twitch gives us a replaces array. Maybe Discord just doesn't have one. Maybe that's just not part of Restream's Discord integration. Yeah. That sucks. We cannot get emojis from Discord. I wonder if... So something I've been thinking about, like the emojis from Discord appear in YouTube. Yeah, so like Restream should be getting them. Why isn't it giving them to us here? I'm just gonna put up the thing so you guys can see what you're saying while I read through the chat. Aknakos, the other day, you saw rich text label to replace images within a text. Yep, cool. Use BB code. We could totally do that if we had the things. Yeah, so something I've been thinking about. We're using the Restream API, which is actually kind of limited. It's cool that we get like all of the messages aggregated from everywhere, but the Restream API can't say anything in chat. And I feel like a good chatbot should be able to respond, right? Like imagine we added some commands to like re-randomize your character or something. Like if you typed, like exclamation point randomize, and that would like change your character. Or you want to do something even more specific, like you command, I don't know, something to happen, and let's say you type it wrong. Like the chatbot should be able to come back and say like, hey, that was an invalid command. But we can't do that with Restream because Restream won't let us write anything to chat. So I've been thinking, what if instead of doing this with the Restream API, we actually did it with the Discord API? Because all of the messages are sent to Discord as well from the Restream bot. So someone says something on Twitch, it gets sent to Discord stream channel. And if we had a yeah. I love seeing the messages appear over here. If we had a Discord bot sitting there, it would get those messages anyway, and then could write things back in the Discord channel, and then they would get, sent. Nice try, Ross. We're using a. Oh, your name is still above your character. That is super weird. So Ross, the reason that didn't work is because even though the rich text label in Godot can use BB code, we didn't use the rich text label. We used the normal label. So I'd actually have to switch it to the rich text label. And I would also have to take what you guys write and stick it into the BB code field, the BB code text field, rather than the normal text field, which I think I'm going to not do. I think letting people over the internet put whatever BB code they want in there is a bad idea. But that's why that's not working. And yeah, Seki, I don't know why your name is still above. Like, that's really weird. But yeah, I think, you know, to take this to the next level, to have bot commands, I think we would have to switch this from the Restream API to be like a Discord bot or something. But that should be pretty easy, right? Like, we're not doing anything fancy with the Restream API. We're just like seeing what people write in text and then like grabbing, you know, the Discord integration, we're grabbing those extra roles or whatever. And that also being a Discord bot could also be potentially helpful in that it could keep running even when we're not on stream. That makes the design of this way more complicated though. The weird things also makes this package is even more funny than otherwise. Yeah. It being a little bit janky definitely makes it more fun. At least like in the context of like, we built it on stream versus like if we were using someone's product and it was janky, we'd probably be upset. But so anyway, yeah, I there's some bugs to be fixed. I guess I'm going to scratch emotes off my list because we can't fix the emotes because of, you know, the limitations of the Restream API. But this is cool. I guess I'll work on the speech bubble later, and I don't know. I think next week we are gonna finally get back to doing deterministic network physics. I'm really excited to dig back into that now that I've gotten through like this really tough GitLab CI stuff, which of course isn't fully finished either. Like I need to clean up that code, but I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down for now, and I'm gonna go work on network physics. And we also need to use inverted emotes to appear. Yeah, that is also a sort of fun gimmicky aspect. Oh, so speech bubble resizing and also positioning, because it shouldn't come downward when it gets bigger. It should go upward, and resizing upward. But yeah, this is a super fun project. I'm so glad that we got to work on it, and so thankful to you guys for all of your cool ideas. You know, if you guys let me know actually, like, if you prefer, you know, doing the hard stuff that we'd been doing previously on stream, the netcode and the network physics, or if you prefer doing like more of this fun, you know, just playful stuff with the chatbot. Because like, I don't know, I definitely like personally want to be working on the network physics, and so like that's totally what I'm gonna work on this week. But if it just is that on stream people would rather see not network physics, like I'm also open to just continuing to do fun stuff. But for now, the tentative plan, until you guys tell me on Discord or something that you don't want to see it, is for us to go back to network physics next week. And yeah, great stream, guys. Thanks so much for coming, for chatting, for hanging out, and I'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.